We finally arrived to Konya. Just had a brief city tour and then I'm gonna show you our room. This is the economic double room, but it's a triple actually. And the room is spacious. And I think we paid around 800 Turkish liras, which is how many dollars? 20? I think 30. Yes, around $30, including breakfast for 2 people, which is good price. We have a huge wardrobe here, and this is the bathroom.
Not the best room, but still.
Yes, but it does its job. We even have a square TV here. And then I think evil chair. Anyway, this is the end of this day, and tomorrow we're gonna explore Konya. Good morning from Konya. So this is our first morning in Konya. We arrived last night and we just settled in our hotel. It was nighttime. Yesterday we saw Nasreddin Hoca mausoleum, his cemetery, tomb, and today we are exploring Konya. So we are staying very close to the historic city center, like around 500 meters in Garra Hotel. It's a very basic but really quality hotel, like has all the basics and it's
Very
clean.
basics.
Very basics, but still it's warm, it's clean, and the breakfast is amazing when you compare it with the price. And now we are walking towards the world famous Mevlana Museum and tomb as well. Mevlana is known as the Rumi
Rumi, yeah.
in English, I think in the other parts of the world, but we know him as Mevlana. And yesterday I did a little bit of research and learned that Mevlana means the master. So today we will visit his museum and his tomb. A lot of people come here to visit these sites. It's also, I think, something is UNESCO protected about him, but not the museum or the tomb itself. So we're gonna find out about it.
Does it mean master in Persian or Arabic?
I don't know, but
I think it's in Persian because
can be. Yeah.
Persian people also claims that Mevlana is a Persian person. Was a person.
According to the history, they're coming from Afghanistan, but maybe back in that day, it was all Persia. I don't know. So when we are walking to the Mevlana Museum, we saw this famous Mevlana candy. It's kind of famous in Konya. It's hard, very sweet, but we also saw in the next shop kind of a nougat made with all the nuts and sugar and hemp.
Hemp seeds. Yeah.
Hemp seeds. So if you want a good souvenir, why not? we came to the Mevlana quarter of Konya. This is the historic city center. So we came to see the Mevlana's tomb and museum here. So I think the entrance is free. So we will learn more about Mevlana in the museum. So let's go. We found the entrance door to the Mevlana Museum, and the entrance is free. There's a beautiful garden, and you can take beautiful photographs in the morning because the light is better at the entrance side. So now we're gonna walk to the museum.
Also, there's a cafe.
Yeah.
And a place that you can buy audio
Guides.
headset. Yeah. Audio guide.
Okay. I'm gonna walk through this beautiful garden. So now we are inside the inner garden of the museum and the Mevlana tomb. So we're going to visit the small rooms. You can see maybe behind me there are small rooms of the museums where they tell us more about what Mevlana and his people were doing here back in the day. We will learn more, but first I want to talk about who Mevlana is for a while. Rumi, or Mevlana in our language in Turkish, his father came from Afghanistan, but from
Today's Afghanistan.
yeah, so it was a region called Balkh. So they were running away from the Mongol invasion, yeah, Mongol invasion. So they just came to the Ottoman Empire, and the Ottoman Empire gave them a place here in Konya. So they set up their place here, which is called Dergah in our language, meaning the place they come together for rituals, for religion, for sometimes philosophy. So Rumi was known about his Sufism. The world knows him as Whirling Dervishes. This Sufism is known as the Whirling Dervishes, but actually
More than that,
it's
right?
way more than the dance. They were using music and dance in their rituals, so this became famous, but there is a very deep philosophy underneath it all. So if you're into it, you can read Rumi's books about Sufism. This side of Islam is very deep and very welcoming, actually. So now we're going to visit the small rooms and see together what they're showing. of these small rooms inside this complex, they are telling something, a small part of the Sufism, the Mevlevi religion. In the first room we saw the candles they lit, which is very symbolic about how they lit the fire in their souls and how they awakened. So it's very symbolic and actually very, effective to see those. And then there is a room that's telling about the music flute, this Sufi flute called ney, which symbolizes blowing the soul inside a wood, a tube. And and also there are rooms that are displaying items these Mevlevi people used in the day, like for collecting tribute, or when they go shopping to the bazaar, they wore a symbol so that people knew they were coming from this religious temple. And also there are rooms showcasing their clothes. Actually, back in the day, Mevlana Rumi wore very simple clothes, only just a coat and a hat. And he said that this is my tomb. So, because he always believed in dying and rebirthing himself. So this is also symbolic. But later on, they just made some clothes that are, special for these people. So there are some rooms showcasing them. So let me show you the music flute now. So this is the famous ney, the flute, which symbolizes blowing the soul inside. And they say that this is an endless music for realizing your inner peace. And now we will see some of the clothes. So you can recognize Mevlevi people from this coat and their hats. So you will see something similar in white in the Whirling Dervishes. So here is a more recognizable one. So the Mevlevi religion also includes soul suffering. So as far as we understand, you spend 1001 days first as part of your initial suffering. So it's like 3 years. I think you work here, or you spend time in the dargah for 1001 days.
It's kind of a training.
Yeah. And then after that 1001 days, you just become entitled to a cell. But before that, you complete 18 services, like washing the dishes, shopping for the dargah, and also cleaning the place. You can do, you have to complete those 18 services. And after that, you spend a day in your own cell for 18 days, where you sit inside your cell for the first 3 days. And then after that, the last 15 days, you spend inside the dargah. And then you become a dede. Dede is a very high rank in Mevlevi religion, which is the word's meaning is grandfather.
It's a belief. It's not a religion.
Yeah, it's like in Sufism, it's like a part of Islam. And then you become dede. So you have to spend, you really have to devote yourself to this. And actually, I read somewhere that if you decide to do this, they take your wife's permission, your family's permission, so that you can become a dede, because it takes a lot of time and effort from your life. So now I will show you one of the cells that a person who suffers for the last 18 days. This is how you sit for 18 days. So this is after the initial 1001 days, just you spend the last month here. about his teachings. Now we will see Mevlana's tomb, which is here. So after seeing Mevlana's tomb in Mevlana Museum, our visit to this museum has finished, and now we will walk to Aziziye Mosque from here and see the historic bazaar of Konya. So it's just 300 meters of walking, but this Mevlana Museum complex was very touching, I think. It was deep, and we learned a lot actually about Mevlana in here. Right across Mevlana Museum, there are some shops and restaurants, cafes on our way to Aziziye Mosque. So you can just enjoy a cup of coffee here or buy some souvenirs like the Mevlana candy. Of course, we are now taking a pause because the sun is so nice here, and we're gonna eat the famous food of Konya, which is called yağ somunu. It's a combination of traditional Turkish pita with Konya cheese. So now we will eat it here in Hasan Şen Dağı. This Hasan Şen Dağı is the place to eat yağ somunu when in Konya. So now we're going to go inside and order. Gökay is looking at the menus. This is since 1944.
Hi, now we have been served with our yağ somunu. We are going to share it. It's basically a 4 cheese pita, yes, and it seems quite delicious.
And a lot of butter.
A lot of butter, yes, and there are some, what was it?
Parsley.
Yes, parsley. And this is, we call it ezme, it's kind of a meze.
This is with Konya cheese.
This is with Konya cheese, yes. Konya green cheese.
Blue cheese.
Blue cheese, yes. With mold.
After lunch, we came to see Aziziye Mosque, which is an example of late Ottoman era mosques. So let's see if we can go inside, because I don't have a headscarf. Maybe it's not possible to go in, because in Turkey, just out of respect, when you go into a mosque, you have to wear a headscarf. İçeri doğru gideceğim. We just took a brief look into Aziziye Mosque, which was actually a 19th century mosque, but first it was built in the 17th century. After a big fire in the 19th century, around 1867, it was rebuilt. And as maybe you recognize, the motifs on the minares are Baroque style. And it's a late Ottoman Empire small mosque with 2 minares, and it has big windows. So now we will make our way to the historic bazaar of Konya. As you can see behind us, there are traditional historic shops with renovated buildings. So we'll just take a walk around the shopping street of Konya. Of course, as Turkish people, we sat down in a garden to have some tea. Traditional Turkish tea, every time, everywhere, is a good reason to have a break.
With the specified glass.
Yes, with the specified Turkish glass. So it's time for us to enjoy the afternoon sun. Stop is the Women's Bazaar. Right across the old historic bazaar should be this building. Now we're gonna go explore. I think it's like a wet bazaar, wet market. Let's go see. So we have famous Konya blue cheese. See how loud he is. But that's the wanted quality if you're a bazaar man in Turkey. All kinds of spices, wet produce, fresh vegetables, and of course garlic. Now we are making our way to Şems-i Tebrizi Museum, and from there we're going to go to another historic part of the city. Şems-i Tebrizi is a well-known student of Mevlana, so he was also kind of a religious philosopher, thinker, and he's also famous. He's from Tabriz. Şemsi Tebrizi means Shems from Tabriz, Tabriz in Iran. So it's around 700 meters from here to the museum. So we're gonna walk there from the historical shopping street. Just 5 minutes walking from the historic bazaar street, and we are in front of Şemsi Tebrizi Mosque and Tomb. So Şemsi Tebrizi was not a student of Mevlana as I thought he was. He was the mentor of Mevlana, just the opposite. He is from Tabriz and he was also a religious philosopher. So he made his way to Konya and met Hazreti Mevlana, and they just created bigger thoughts, I think. I don't know. They just had a deep relationship and they just, explored the religiously love, and they have, I think, books as well and poems, as I believe they have poems. So now we're going to visit his tomb. It's just a small building inside a park here, so it's free to enter, and I think it's very simple as it should be. We came to Madrasa, Karatay Madrasa in Konya, just across Alaeddin Hill. So this is a historic structure from the 13th century, Anadolu Selçuklu Empire. Today it's a museum telling about China arts. Today, this madrasa from Anadolu Selçuklu era is a museum about the tile art of the Ottoman. So you can go inside with a museum card. Of course, we have a museum card, but also foreigners can buy a museum card. It's a nice entrance with natural light. I think in the historic district of the city center of Konya, this is our last stop. It's the Alaeddin Hill with the Alaeddin Mosque on top of it. So this is actually the only hill in Konya city because Konya is a very flat place. And this mosque is one of the most important mosques of Anatolian Selçuklu civilization, empire, yes. And but before that, since this is a hill, actually this has some prehistoric remains underneath the ground. So the Phrygians, the Romans, the Byzantines, Selçuks, Anatolian Selçuks, and then Ottoman Empire has some history here under the ground and also above the ground. So a lot of important empires from the Anatolian Selçuklu era were buried inside the garden of this mosque. So we're just gonna walk around and see the mosque now, but today this hill is a city park and it has some kind of a panoramic view of the city, though it's not very high. It's a beautiful, green, peaceful place, so let's walk. Şöyle durduğum yerden çekeyim. Buranın bir şehir parkı olduğu anlaşılsın. Burada çok güzel bir... Nelerde?
Suriyeliler.
Suriyeliler. Ben de Suriyelilerden anlıyorum. After exploring the Alaeddin Park, now we are going back to our hotel for a brief stopover, and we will take our car to go to the historic district of Meram if we find the time. After a busy day and a small rest from in our hotel, it's time for dinner now. So we are going to try the meat bread. They call it meat bread, but actually it's kind of a Turkish pizza in a local restaurant here in Konya before we go watch a Whirling Dervish show. So this place called Halk Etli Ekmek is one of the most famous and local places to have etli ekmek. Let's go try. Traditionally, in a Turkish kebab restaurant, we got all these small dishes, meze plates, before the meal as gifts. So these are all complimentary salads. So this is kind of small diced tomatoes, a little bit chili. This radish, parsley, and we have the cabbage. So this is the traditional Konya meat pie, meat pide, for 120 centimeters. This is only just one portion, and it's 130 Turkish liras for now. So you can see it's like a Turkish pizza with minced meat and thin dough. We made it to the Whirling Dervishes show of the municipality. We bought our tickets online, and now we arrived to the Mevlana Cultural Center to watch the show. It's 7 p.m. Every Saturday actually, so we are lucky to be in Konya on the weekend. So now we're gonna rush inside to find our seats. So this is the entrance to Mevlana Cultural Center, but also there is a summertime outside seating here. But since it's at the beginning of October, we're gonna watch it inside, I think. So this is the venue, and we bought a ticket right in the front there. We made it! We are sitting right in the front. I'm proud of myself. So this show was 100 Turkish liras, I think around $3 US.
Hazreti Mevlana
very quiet and peaceful. And now I think this is the end of our day here. Although we have some work to do, the video ends here.